Hello students, today we are here to discuss some terms used to describe the magnetic materials. Here we will discuss about the classification of magnetic materials. There are three types of magnetic materials. One is diamagnetism, ferromagnetic and paramagnetic substances. After that, we will describe the theories, electronic concept of these theories. Right? First of all, let us describe some basic terms. Magnetic field. The magnetic field that exists in the vacuum and induced magnetism is called magnetic field. B naught is the magnetizing field which is equal to mu naught Ni. Magnetic field due to the solenoid is B naught is equal to mu naught Ni. Next we have magnetizing field intensity denoted by H. The ability of the magnetizing field to magnetize a material is called magnetizing field intensity denoted by H, which is equal to B naught upon mu naught. SI unit is ampere per meter and dimension formula is M0 L-1A. Intensity of magnetization. When a magnetic material is placed in magnetizing field, it gets magnetized. The magnetic momentum developed per unit volume of the material when placed in the magnetizing field is called intensity of magnetization. I is equal to mass per dipole moment per unit volume. Dipole moment is strength of the magnetic pole into dipole length upon area into length, dipole length. Now, magnetic induction. The number of magnetic line of induction crossing per unit area of the magnetic substances. Here V0 is the applied magnetic field and this is the induced magnetic field. So total magnetic field is applied plus induced, which is equal to mu naught H plus mu naught I. Next we have magnetic susceptibility. It measures the ability of the substance to magnetize when placed in the magnetic field. Susceptibility is equal to I upon H, intensity of magnetization of magnetizing field. Magnetic permeability. It is the ratio of the magnetic induction to the magnetic intensity, which is B upon H. Its unit is Tesla meter per ampere. Dimension formula is ML T 2 A 2. Relative permeability. Relative permeability is the ratio of permeability in any material divided by permeability in the free space. Relative permeability of the vacuum is 1 and for the air is 1.000004. Next we have relation between the magnetic permeability and magnetic susceptibility. If the magnetic material is subjected to magnetizing field, develops the magnetization and the magnetic induction, which is equal to B is equal to mu naught H plus mu naught I. As we know that susceptibility is I upon H, so I is equal to susceptibility into H. B is equal to mu naught 1 plus susceptibility H plus susceptibility into H. Take the H common, we get B is equal to mu naught H 1 plus susceptibility. B is also replaced by mu into H. H and H cancel out in both sides, so we get mu is equal to mu naught 1 plus susceptibility. Mu upon mu naught is the relative permeability, which is equal to 1 plus susceptibility. This is the relation between the permeability and susceptibility. Next we have classification of the magnetic material. There are three types of magnetic material: diamagnetic substance, paramagnetic substance and ferromagnetic substance. Diamagnetic substance, which when placed in the magnetic field and are freely magnetized in a direction opposite to that of the magnetizing field are called diamagnetic substance. For example, gold, silver, marble, water, etc. Paramagnetic substances are those substances which, when placed in the magnetic field and are freely magnetized in the direction of the magnetizing field, are called paramagnetic substances. For example, aluminium, sodium, antimony, platinum. Next, we have ferromagnetic substances. The substances which, when placed in the magnetic field, are strongly magnetized in the direction of the magnetizing field are called ferromagnetic substances. For example, nickel, cobalt, alnico, etc. Next, we have electron theory of diamagnetism. As the name indicates, in the diamagnetic atom, there are the pair of electrons which are moving in opposite direction. One is moving in clockwise direction and another is moving in anti-clockwise direction. In the absence of magnetic field, their magnetic momentum is opposite direction and cancel out the effect of each other. Since both the electrons are moving opposite to each other, their magnetic momentum is also opposite to each other and hence cancel the effect of each other. So net magnetic momentum in the absence of magnetic field is zero. In the presence of external magnetic field, this is the case. One is moving in anti-clockwise direction and one is moving in clockwise direction. With the velocity v, speed is same for both the electrons. In the presence of external magnetic, when the magnetic field is applied perpendicular to the direction of the flow of electron and in the downward direction, the electron experience force minus EV cross B, which is the Lorentz magnetic force. The direction of this force can be found by using the Fleming left-hand rule. In case of the electron which is moving in anti-clockwise direction, force is acting outward side, hence its radius goes on increasing. If the radius is increasing, velocity is decreasing by the delta V amount. The electron which is moving in clockwise direction, force is acting towards the center and its velocity is increased because radius is decreasing. So the magnetic momentum in the downward direction will decrease and momentum about the upward direction is increased. Net change in the magnetic momentum is 2 delta m, which is proportional to the magnetic field. But these momentum and magnetic field are opposite to each other. So in the diamagnetism, the magnetic momentum is opposite to the applied magnetic field. Next we have electron theory of paramagnetism. The atom of the paramagnetic material possesses permanent magnetic dipole momentum because of the presence of the unpaired electron. But when the no field is applied, all the magnetic momentum are aligned randomly so that their net magnetic momentum is zero. When the magnetic field is applied at a certain temperature, each magnetic momentum aligns themselves in the direction of the applied field and hence have the net magnetic momentum. Now, we will study about the Curie's law. Curie's law states that susceptibility is inversely proportional to temperature. M is directly proportional to H upon T. If we remove the proportionality sign, there is the equal to and some constant, which is Curie's constant. M upon H is susceptibility, which is inversely proportional to temperature. Next, we have ferromagnetism on the basis of the electron theory. Ferromagnetism is explained on the basis of the domain theory. Domains are the small region which contain the large number of the atom, and these have the magnetic dipole moment. Each domain has their own dipole moment. In the absence of the magnetic field, domains are randomly distributed so that net magnetic momentum is zero. But when external field is applied, magnetic momentum of the domains aligns along the direction of the external field in the two ways. One is by the displacement of the boundaries of domain. When the external field is weak, domain aligns in the direction to grow the size, while those oppositely directed decreasing in the size of the boundaries. Second, by the rotation of domain. When the external field is strong, domain rotate till their magnetic momentum gets aligned in the direction of the field. Here you can say when the no magnetic field applied, each boundaries have their own dipole moment and net dipole moment is zero. When the weak field is applied, the dipole moment try to align in the direction of the field. And when the strong field is applied, each dipole moment is aligned in the direction of the field. And hence on the application of the magnetic field, there is a magnetic dipole moment. Okay beta, that's all for today. Thank you.